thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. SVP, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why? We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV.
Hi everybody, welcome to Couch Convo with Coach Karla. I am your host, Karla Lewis. I am a therapist as well as a life coach. Here on Couch Convo with Coach Karla, we talk about current events, life tips, tools, and solutions to help make your life better. Today, we're going to be talking about the therapeutic value of music. I was going to say Memphis, the therapeutic value of music. And I have my special guest here, Miss Valletta Brinson, who's going to help us with this particular topic. Welcome, Miss Brinson.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Now, how do you want me to address you, Valletta or Miss Brinson?
Valletta is fine. Or Val.
Oh, okay. She gave me a plethora of options. Okay, I like it. I love it. I like it when people feel comfortable with different monikers. Okay, I love it. So, Miss Valletta is very accomplished in the music industry as a vocalist, and she has actually taught me, been my voice teacher with the Memphis Black Arts Alliance, so that's how I'm connected with Valletta. But Valletta has sung all over the world, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, and the Caribbean. She has studied art, the different genres, art, classical, and operatic music. She's worked with a lot of different organizations. I'm going to let her tell you some of those organizations that she's worked with. And she is also the owner of Brinson Music Group, and she has received vocal training with Morris Brown, Middle Tennessee State University, and the University of Memphis. Again, welcome, Ms. Brinson.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
So, yeah, go ahead and tell the people some of the different organizations that you've worked with.
Well, the first organization I would love to talk about is just the Memphis Black Arts Alliance. I've been a board member there, serving as secretary for about maybe 3 years, but I've been a board member for about 5 years, and we just love being a catalyst for change for Memphis, and we've been around since 1984, I believe, where Ms. Benetta Nelson West is the founder, and our current executive director is Larnette Williams. We're a small non-paid board, but we love working for Memphis and musicians, and we love to combine professionals and amateurs so they can get an opportunity to work with each other and learn and grow. But I've also worked with the University of Memphis, Opera Memphis, the Orpheum as a teaching artist. There are just so many different organizations. I can't name them all, but I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Yeah. She's also performed at the Sunset Symphony. She had a duet that she performed. That's one of the highlights of her career to me, as well as working with the Memphis Symphony, doing some other work as well, Memphis Symphony Chorus. So I just wanted to mention that so that everybody can know. But one of the most intriguing things that she does is her music school. So tell everybody a little bit about your music school.
Okay, well, I just decided to go to the Shelby County Clerk and just register my business, which is called Brinson Music Group, and just get registered with the city and the county. I'm a sole proprietor, so I just teach private voice lessons, private piano lessons, audition preparation, and I just kind of try to meet the student where they are. I have various vocal clients ranging from ages 4 and above. I think my oldest student was probably 70 years old.
Okay.
And so I may get a student who he or she hasn't ever performed in front of an audience before, and they may want to sing a solo for church.
Okay.
Or I may have a student who wants to audition for American Idol, and they want help with picking the right song choice. Or I may have a student that's getting ready to audition for college for a 4-year or 2-year institution, and they just need help with finding the right repertoire for which to audition with. So I get a plethora of different types of students, and so the reason that I did my private business is because, of course, on the college level where I work at Southwest Tennessee Community College, I get students ages 18 and up, and they are degree-seeking students or students that choose to audit for a non-grade, but just for the sake of participating in it.
Okay.
So for having my own business, I have the opportunity to meet with students ages 4 and up and just kind of meet them where they are and just try to set some goals for them.
Okay, so you work with a wide variety of ages as well as the level of performance that the students are at.
Correct. I just try to meet the student where they are.
Okay, all right. I'm familiar with Ms. Valletta was having a karaoke night that she was offering to the community. Do you still offer that right now?
I do not offer that because my partner, I was partnering with a young lady by the name of Miss Rachel Jones, and she had us a homeschool agency that was called the Cool Nerds.
Okay.
And so she has just recently moved, and I will dearly, dearly miss her. And she taught many things. She taught people how to be doulas. She taught people how to make teas. She helped homeschool students. She's a magnetic force within this world, and I know that wherever she goes, she will take her brand with her and she will soar. So I'm looking for someone else to partner with for which to have the karaoke.
Okay, so is that something that people who are listening to the show, they can reach out to you and talk to you about that?
They can reach me at brinsonmusicgroup@gmail.com, or they can get in contact with me on 901-235-5090.
Okay, you all, she's looking for a partner for karaoke night, and I know that a lot of musicians and singers look for things like that to participate in within the city of Memphis so that they can showcase their talent and so that people within the city can get to know them as artists and so that they can practice their craft. And so that would be a good opportunity for someone who's looking to work with musicians, as well as any companies who might be looking to sponsor events like that, just so we can have positive activities within the city of Memphis, which we need those. So be sure to contact Valletta about that. One of the things that I like is that music has a therapeutic value. And I started, and this is actually pretty cool because Valletta and I really haven't had a chance to talk about this, but I started singing at church and at school. But actually the first time that I ever sang was at school. And I sang Fully Committed.
I love that song.
That was the very first song I ever sung, and I just stood there and just kind of snapped my fingers, and I didn't have music, but my classmates, I cried because I didn't think I did a good job. I went in the bathroom and cried.
Okay.
I think I was in the 5th grade. But some of my friends came in the bathroom like, Karla, you did such a great job. You know, they encouraged me. So it was a good experience. And so, but I'm really glad that I started presenting myself, you know, at an early age, because I do have some comfort level with that. And just, you know, as a person, all of us have to do presentations for work, or, you know, if we're with different organizations. And so it's really good to get children involved in the arts at an early age so that they know how to present themselves. And it also helps increase confidence and self-esteem. And it really can help with a lot of character building, discipline. What are some of the things that therapeutic value or just value to music that you like or you enjoy?
You know, I think the therapeutic value, it varies with each person. I know that, you know, for me, I can remember this so vividly. I had just come from a White Station junior high school band trip, and we went to the Epcot Center, and when I got home, you know, I wasn't in a mood to listen to neo soul. Well, neo soul wasn't created at that point. But I wasn't in the mood for listening to R&B. I didn't want to listen to pop. I didn't want to listen to gospel. You know, at that point, you know, when you're in your room, you got a bunk bed and you just chill out on the sofa, on the bed. And I just turned on the radio and I was just flipping stations, and I stumbled upon, I guess it was probably NPR at the time, and they played Air on the G String
Okay.
by Johann Sebastian Bach. And that was my first time just really being fully engulfed in the genre called classical music. And it just satisfied me as a whole, just not having words, but just having music. And it just satisfied me. So, you know, music it's the universal language. It has the power to change you.
Yes. And I think as you were talking, when you said it satisfied you, I like that you used that word, because it does. It feels like something fills you. It feels warm. You can feel joy. You can feel love. And then sometimes, you know, it's one of the things that I like to do as a therapist as well. Sometimes I assign a song. If I know that there's a song that speaks to the situation that my client is dealing with, I'll ask them to listen to that song, or we may even do it in session.
Okay.
You know, and that can be therapeutic, just knowing that someone else has experienced what you're feeling, so that you don't feel alone.
Right.
But as you were talking about experiencing classical for the first time, I thought about the movie Hustle and Flow, which as Memphians we know that it was based on actually being here in Memphis, and a lot of it was filmed here in Memphis. But I thought about the scene where the main character, played by Terrence Howard, goes to a church, and I think they're waiting on the guy who plays the keyboard, or he does sound, but they have an opportunity. He's a rapper, and he has an opportunity to hear an African American woman sing. It was like a classical gospel, and he sat there. He enjoyed it. I don't know if that was his first time experiencing something like that, but tears came to his eyes, and I think as well as the young lady who was with him. And so it can be really important for us to experience different types of genres. I like all genres except for heavy metal. I don't do heavy metal, but I'll listen to country. Like one time I went to Target, I bought a Dolly Parton CD, an R&B CD, and I think like a pop CD all at one time. And the person who rang me up was like, I'm like, yes, I'm going to listen to all of this. I like all of this. I'm a musician.
Right, don't put me in a box.
Yeah, don't put me in a box. Do you have a certain genre that you like to sing the best?
I believe I enjoy classical music the most, and I guess it's probably because I've had the most training in it. So I will say that, but I still enjoy singing African American spirituals. I love singing R&B, neo soul, because I didn't know anything about classical music until, you know, the 90s. Up until then, you know, I was listening to what my grandmother and what my mother listened to. So that was mostly R&B, Al Green, Mays and Frankie Beverly, Ron Isley, and people like that. So, you know, my genre is a plethora.
Okay, so you enjoy singing a variety of different types of music as well as listening. Okay.
Yes, I like to consider myself just a singer. So if I say I'm just a singer, I'm not just put into this limited box.
Yeah.
I'm singing this weekend with a young lady by the name of Queen Jasira.
Okay.
She's going to be singing at Perion's on Winchester this Saturday at 7 o'clock, and she's going to be singing R&B plus reggae. And so I'm just glad to be able to, she called me and asked me if I could be a vocalist and to support her as a background singer. And I love singing lead, but I also love singing background and just helping musicians bring what they want to bring into fruition.
Yeah, I like singing lead and background as well. When we do background, I like the warmth of the harmony, and it's the satisfaction of knowing that we practiced and we worked on something, and now it sounds good, and we get to enjoy it, and then other people get to enjoy it as well.
And then you get to look at the different instrumentalists that are out there that the different singers choose to work with. I love that too, that networking experience.
Yeah, and then just thinking about the value that music can add, being able to work in those different genres can provide more of an opportunity for employment.
Yes.
You know, if someone is interested in singing, I think it's a good idea to be well versed in at least several different genres.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, the music professor agrees with me. You all got to need to be versed in several different genres.
Yeah, because so a lot of people can just, put themselves in a box, and it may not be that they try to, but I believe that, because even myself, I feel like I limit myself at times, and I'll say, oh, okay, I'm just this classical singer, but no, I can sing R&B, I can sing musical theater, and I honor Laurinette Williams, the executive director of Memphis Black Arts Alliance, with just, creating that hunger in me for musical theater, because I never thought that I would sing musical theater, but she felt that I had the voice to do that. Yes, I knew nothing. I knew nothing of that. I knew about the operetta. What is it? George Gershwin. Summertime. Porgy and Bess.
Yeah.
That was about the only thing as far as musical theater that I knew about operetta-wise. So,
Okay. And I think I got my introduction to musical theater through, I went to Houston High School, so the musical program at Houston High School.
Okay.
But also, I participated in AXO through the NAACP, and that was that was one of the ways that I was introduced to musical theater as well.
I got
So,
you.
yeah.
Okay. I hid behind my voice. I played the oboe from 7th grade until the 12th grade, and I was never in choir except for my home church.
Oh,
And I was a flag girl at Hamilton High School, and I ran
Okay.
track
Okay.
at White Station High School, but I hid behind my voice, and it wasn't until I'll say her name is Cheryl Rutherford. She
Oh,
said, Valletta, you're going to sing a solo this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's called We Are Sharing. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
You got voluntold.
Right.
Yes.
And so when I finally did it, my mother was like,
oh, wow.
when I opened my mouth to sing, because she did not know, because I hid it. I would always just play at the piano and hear different little harmonies and things of that nature. But sometimes it takes the elders to bring out your talents.
Yes, and I don't know how you feel about this, Valletta, but one of the things that concerns me as a therapist, and I'm gonna say just as a person in the community, I see parents allowing young ones to make big decisions about their lives. For instance, let's just say, let's say I went to my mom and I said, I'm interested in piano. And let's say I'm in the 3rd grade, and then I get scared and I bag off of it, so I never sign up. So what I'm seeing is parents allowing their child to make that decision and say, well, it's up to you. But in my opinion, they're too young to make that decision. Now, they don't have to do piano, but they need to do something related to music, because any kind of extracurricular activities at school or church. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I can only go by my story dealing with my son. He knew that I was a vocalist, and even when I was doing opera scenes and things of that nature at school, he was even brought in to be an extra on an opera, just because he was musically inclined. And so I tried him in soccer. I tried him with the Suzuki Music School at the University of Memphis. I tried him in a whole bunch of things, the Memphis Boy Choir. And he gravitated to drawing all on his own.
Okay.
And so when I saw that he had the desire to get better, I just tapered everything off and just let him focus on the drawing. So I think it's okay to guide them, but to also listen to them to see where their head is at, because you don't want to force. I know as a teacher, I hate when a parent is just making a student come to a piano lesson or a voice lesson with me, and they're just there like, when is the 30 minutes over? you know, versus a student that has the desire. She wants to be like Beyonce.
Yeah.
She has self-esteem. She has confidence. She knows that she can sing. That student is much different from the person that's being pushed to do it.
Absolutely, I can see that. I can see that. Well, Memphis is a big music city, and over the past few years, we've had a lot of popular rappers, Yo Gotti, NLE Choppa, even Glorilla. And so I was just wondering, do you, just your opinion, do you think that momentum is going to continue?
I feel like it is. I feel like Memphis has been like kind of down here, but I feel like we're just kind of rising to the top as far as singers and producers and songwriters are concerned, because we do have a unique sound. I mean, Bruno Mars came down here to get that specific Memphis sound for one of his, you know, famous songs and everything. So I do believe that we have something that the world needs to see and the world needs to hear. I know I never thought that I would write anything about Glorilla, but we have an open educational resource at Southwest Tennessee Community College that we're helping to write, me along with Gary Buss and Dr. Charles Pender at Southwest Tennessee Community College. And so we're trying to offer students a free educational resource. And I find that students do better when they are learning about Memphis music. They are learning about B.B. King, Elvis Presley, Tina Turner, people from Tennessee and Memphis, because they feel like they have a sense of belonging. You know, I mean, I love Mozart, I love Schumann, I love Beethoven, you know, but I believe that they want to dive into things that have more relevance to them.
And maybe they can see themselves better, you know, because there have been people who've gone before them who look like them, and they hopefully they say, well, if they did it, then I can do it too. And
I've also seen that, like, my online class, it just ended on August the 7th, and my students had to write a 1,000-word research paper, and we gave them the opportunity to write about people from Memphis and people from Tennessee. And I've read so many research papers on Tina Turner, Justin Timberlake, and 3 6 Mafia.
Wow.
And I'm learning so much myself from reading their papers. Like, I didn't know that Tina Turner never met any of her grandchildren. You know, I have to go back and double check the research and everything, but one of my students wrote that in his or her paper, and I was just like, wow. I mean, I know that she went over to Switzerland and gave up her United States citizenship, but you know, some of the little details that are in the student's research paper make you want to go and piggyback on that and learn some more about it.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I mean, you know, it seems odd to me, but knowing that she was in another country, I guess that helps explain it though. Okay. Oh, that's kind of sad.
I know, right? But she probably contacted them via Zoom and, you know, things of that nature, because I went to a baby shower this past weekend, and it, you know, because of the pandemic and everything, this was my first time meeting my my little second cousin, you know, and he was 17 months old, but you know, this is the new normal. You know, we're trying to get back into the swing of things, but you know, you got to stay safe as well.
And just the people still are getting COVID. I know we're more relaxed now, but that is still happening. So I just want to put that little pin out there. We still want to be careful, you all.
Right.
But even if there are people who want to pursue music as a career, what advice do you have for them?
The advice that I have is just follow your dreams. If you want to go to school and be a degree-seeking student, do that. If you feel like you want to do a cover of a song and just make a YouTube channel and go live, do that. If you want to go on The Voice or American Idol, or you think you can dance or sing or something like that, if you know that I think you know within yourself if you have that God-given talent, you know, and I think you should pursue it in any way that you feel that you can. And if you know, they always have this saying to get around people that are smarter than you, get around people that know more than you, so that you can learn from them.
Yeah.
You know.
And I'm glad that you said that, because that's one of the reasons why I participate in the Memphis Black Arts Alliance. It gives me an opportunity to be around other people who care about music just like I do. And it gives me exposure to different people within the city. I mean, really, it's another family for me now.
Yes.
And so I just love being a part of it. But yeah. Okay. There was something else I wanted to share. But that's good advice in terms of music as a career. We're going to get ready to take a break here and go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene to help cut bacteria by 99.9%. Ladies, let's protect the most precious jewel in the world, you.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins do not make any medically backed claims or personal recommendations of any kind. For more information, contact Marilyn McGee.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new, pre-owned, and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #1 dealership in the Mid-South, 4605 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with hundreds of vehicles to choose from, pre-owned, new, and certified.
Good news from Sunrise Chevrolet. Get in your new vehicle today. Come on in, ask for Issa. Bankrupt, slow pay, bad credit, it's okay. Let Issa put you in your brand new truck or car today when you shop at Sunrise Chevrolet Collierville.
And don't forget, ask for me, Issa.
You're talking about a good time shield. When we all alone. Come on now.
Center Stage Gospel Music live from Memphis, Tennessee, featuring gospel artists from around the world. Toe-tapping, hand-clapping, down-home gospel music. Watch on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, and your local Comcast. Download the SVP TV app now on your smart television and mobile device. Center Stage Gospel season premieres Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
For over 20 years, OPOX has been keeping the Mid-South
warm in the winter and cool in the summer.
OPOX is family owned and operated, so our family will take care of yours every step of the way. And right now, you can double up and save. Buy a new AC unit and get 50% off a new furnace to match it. Count on OPOX for fast and professional heating and cooling services. Count on OPOX.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're back from break, and I have my special guest with me, Miss Valletta Brinson. She is a music educator as well as a vocalist and musician here within the city of Memphis, and we're really glad to have her. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. We talked about music and the therapeutic value of music, but now we're going to get into some current events because we do like to do that on the couch. So, one of the things that's circling in the news right now is Lizzo was accused of sexual assault, inappropriate behavior from 3 of her dancers, as well as fat shaming. One of the young ladies is saying that she has a eating disorder, and I'm not sure that Lizzo's team knew that, but it came out. Now, let me say this: I haven't been there for any of it, but this is the information that I'm getting from the news. But and not only 3 dancers, but a director who worked with Lizzo as well on another project. But she was just saying that, I mean, it just sounds like bullying behavior. Now, last week I talked about it, and I shared with the audience that I really didn't want to believe that Lizzo has done these things, in particular fat shaming, because she's been such a body positive advocate.
Right.
You know, she has her plus size line, and she's really done a lot for the plus size community. And I would hate to think that she's fat shaming, but more and more details are coming out. And one of the things that struck me was the young ladies say that they went to a nude bar in Amsterdam, and that they didn't know where they were going. I can see that. And then when they were there, Lizzo asked one of the young ladies to touch one of the nude ladies, and that they actually had to see people have sex. I wouldn't be prepared for that, and I wouldn't really want to see that or experience that. And so that's kind of what's going on. Plus now, Lizzo's boyfriend has broken up with her after these accusations. So we know that Lizzo is a musician, and we are talking about the topic of music. But just what do you think about all of that?
Well, I cannot say that I have listened to an entire Lizzo album. I've heard a song or 2 from her. I do know I've seen her as a flautist and a performer on some shows and everything, but I in no way condone sexual harassment, and I in no way condone body shaming.
Yeah.
So if charges need to be brought up, or if people need to be sued, I am behind that every step of the way. But at the end of the day, you know what your morals are, you know what your values are, you know what you will say yes to, you know what you will say no to, and you know how to walk out of an establishment and find your way back to wherever it is that you were coming from. So that's my feelings on that.
Okay. And then some of I think I turned a corner in terms of thinking that this stuff might be true when I heard the specifics of, I almost don't even want to say it, but there was accusations of fruit being in private parts, and I was like, that's really specific. So I don't think that that's something that's been made up. However, what I will say is that I think Lizzo is young and that she has a really big learning curve. I don't condone any of the behavior if it happened, especially sexual assault, especially fat shaming, any of that. But I wonder if she understands her position, her authority, her power, and she probably needs some training in how to communicate with others and just how to be over a team without bullying. And I hope she didn't bully. I wasn't there. I hope that some of it is misunderstanding. I really do. But I wasn't there, and more details are coming out. And so I think that, we'll find out more and more about it as time goes on. But what do you think how do you think all of this is going to affect her career?
I mean, I definitely believe that it is going to affect her financially. I was looking on a couple of YouTube channels, and they say that she lost like 150,000 followers, but I don't know, from what streaming service or whatever that that came from or whatever. But I mean, there's going to be some backlash and some loss, of course, regarding that.
Yeah.
So she just has to, tread lightly at this point and do a press conference or do something to give her side of the story.
Yeah. And so far, she released a statement. It may have been last Thursday. She denied all of the accusations and said that she would never do that. And she did say that they were disgruntled employees because all of those ladies were terminated. And it was supposed to be for inappropriate behavior on on their part. And so again, I don't know what the issues actually were, but I suspect that we'll learn more as time goes on. One of the ways that it may have already hurt her career is she was mentioned in a Beyonce song that was being performed at Beyonce's concert, and her name was removed the last time that Beyonce performed.
Because I think she mentioned someone's name twice, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, 2 or 3 times. I heard it was 3 times somebody
Okay.
else's name, yeah.
Okay.
So that may be one of the ways that we've seen some of the backlash already. And I'm sure that she has lost followers on YouTube, Instagram, or what have you. But I think that she will have to make a public statement, and that we'll have to hear her verbally. Well, I know she went on Instagram. I think she went on Instagram and said some things verbally, but it probably needs to be more formal. And we really need to hear from her. Her fans need to hear from her. You know, what's really I would want to hear what's really going on. And I have considered myself to be a Lizzo fan up to this point, and so I do want to know more about what's going on. So one of the other big things that has happened over when was this? This was like Sunday night when I first saw this video. I mean, it's being called the Riverboat Brawl of Montgomery, Alabama. It's being called all kinds of things. But, well, first of all, I hate that it happens. I do. And one of the things as a therapist, I think when I saw the video, I was like, well, what caused it? That was what I wanted to know. I know that there were people in a pontoon boat on the river who were asked to move the pontoon so that the big ship could dock. And they just refused to move. Now, I believe that they were being asked for quite some time because, you know, I saw a video like everybody else of the band. The band made up a whole song about we need you to move your boat. So this is going on for a while. And I'm sure that as they were saying, people on there need to eat, people on there need to take their medication. You know, they may have even made people late for work. But the really sad part was when the security guard approached them about moving, several of them jumped him. It was like at least 5 people that jumped him. Now, one of the, I'm gonna call it exciting because I'm gonna be honest, the video is, I mean, even though I hate that it happened, the video is entertaining and exciting. I mean, you know, people are, everybody is getting into this. There are t-shirts out, necklaces of chairs, and I want an Aquaman shirt and I'm going to get one. And in fact, Aquaman has a publicist and his publicist has released a statement on his behalf and thanking the community for their support. Now, I don't know which employees lost their jobs. I know that one of the women who was an employee there spoke out, but she said she had only been working there for like a week. But one of the big causes to me was that the people on the boat, the workers, they knew the security officer who was jumped. They said that they grew up with Damon Dane and that he helped raise some of their kids. And so if I'm on this boat and I'm an employee and I'm seeing him get jumped by several people and I'm sitting there feeling helpless, that was some really high emotion. That was a difficult position for him as well as his co-workers. Right. So what are some things that did you get a chance to see some of the footage?
I think I saw more memes than the actual footage.
Yeah.
You know, it was hilarious. But I just think that if anyone, I just think people need to have more humanity. Need to have more humanity. Because I don't care if the security guard was Hispanic, if they were white, if they were Asian, whatever the case may be. If I was seeing someone that was wrongly accosted, I would jump in or I would call the authorities regardless. You know, I'm not trying to start a race war or anything like that and make it white and black or anything. But, you know, when you see wrongdoing, you want it to be righted.
Yeah. Yeah. And, as a therapist, one of the things I do want to say is that I'm sure that was triggering for people on the boat to see someone getting physically attacked like that. And, when I say triggering, that means that if they've seen anyone be attacked before, then it brought up all of those feelings and emotions for them, because I was trying to figure out how other fights broke out down the way from the pontoon boat. I mean, it just seemed like people came off the boat and then just fighting just continued and continued. And so I'm sure that people were tired. I'm sure they were hungry. I'm sure they were frustrated. But there was just a lot of emotion and all kinds of activities going on for just this one simple thing, the security guard asking people to move their pontoon boat so that they could dock the boat. Mm-hmm. It was a lot. And one of the issues or arguments that's going on right now is people are asking, there seems to be a general consensus of why do people find it funny, and then also it seems like white people want to know why black people are cheering about the moment. And so as a therapist, I kind of wanted to weigh in on that. And I don't condone violence. I don't want anybody to get hurt, period. But the thing is, if I can speak and say what I think, I think that black people get so few wins. And so I think that they were proud that someone jumped in to help and didn't leave this man alone. And also that he wasn't hurt any more than what he was. And so that's really my take on that black people get so few wins. And so, just glad that it turned out the way that it did, as opposed to the way that it could have turned out. What do you think?
I just think that, we have a lot of different lanes in life. When I drive down the street, I'm usually just like this. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I usually just stay straight, and I try to stay in my own lane. And if I get out of my lane, it's because that I really was forced to get out of my lane, or I needed to get out of my lane to protect somebody or to come to somebody's defense. So, I think we have to pick and choose our battles.
Yeah.
That's one of my
I hope that there can be some healing in Montgomery, Alabama behind that. Hopefully, and I haven't heard, but I guess that's something I can check on. See if there's some community services that are going to be offered, or they need to have a community session. They need to come together as a community and talk about that and process that, because that was a lot. There was a lot going on.
Yeah, and then people, people stereotype you because of certain things. When we think of Memphis, you think about the assassination of Dr. MLK, When you think about, when I heard about Montgomery, Alabama, I think it was Bull Connor, and I thought about the dogs, I thought about the water hoses and stuff like that. So there are always these things in the back of your mind that you pray that racism and all of that is getting better. But when you have incidents like the Montgomery brawl situation, it makes you think that, have we grown at all?
That is a good question. And as you were talking, it took me back to a memory. It was about 10 years ago. I actually saw a family member be attacked just out of the blue by a white man. And so seeing this incident in Montgomery made me reflect on that. And so I'm glad you said what you said, because one of the things that I keep bringing up is, and this is, okay, yes, slaves were freed. Yes, given the opportunity to pursue education. However, the heart of the people who imprisoned black people, when did we ever work on changing the heart? You know, the things that led people to imprison folk who were of a different skin color. And so to me, until we do that, things won't change. Things like the riverboat incident in Montgomery, Alabama will continue to happen because you just can't change a law and poof, the people change, the heart has to change. And so we need education, training, and that can happen in a lot of different ways, and not just in our workplaces, but in our communities. But we also all have to get on the same page that it's actually something that's still needed. We still need that information, that education on our differences and how we can come together.
Yeah, I've always thought about having a talk show. You know, we have all of these Prices Right, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud. In my mind, I've always envisioned how can we have just a panel, a multicultural panel in which there are diverse ethnicities, and we bring up stereotypes, we bring up people's opinions about things, and we vary the people of that ethnicity, so you won't be just getting one person's view of that race. And so that you can just talk about things and just having a table for people to come together to discuss those things. I would love to see, I don't know if it exists, it may exist, but I would love to see something like that where you just have a commentator and people like Jeopardy, they have some questions or debate team or whatever, and you just discuss things that are important, social issues and things of that nature, so that we can just get it off of our chest and leave having gained some knowledge.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and I actually participated in some training similar to that at Rhodes College when I was working as a graduate assistant there. It was a some type of collaboration between the University of Memphis and Rhodes College, but I had a chance to do this diversity training.
Okay.
I wish I could remember the exact name of it, but we did very much so what you're talking about, but it was only a few of the people from the college.
Okay.
You know, maybe let's just say about 20 people. And then this has been like 15, tell my age, right? 15 years ago when I was working on my master's degree.
Okay.
So, but anyways, it was very informative. It was done very well. And so programs like that exist, but I'm hearing less and less about diversity. I'm hearing more about inclusivity. And I know that diversity programs are being done away with. And I think that's a bad idea. I think that's a recipe for disaster. And when I say that, not only diversity programs, but diversity positions. The last statistics that I looked at, 30% of diversity positions at companies have been done away with within the past 3 years for whatever reason during the pandemic. And so I don't think that's a good idea. I think America has a lot to learn about. We call ourselves a melting pot, you know, and the ingredients are in the pot, but we haven't melded together too well. We still need to do some melding, in my opinion. And so, but somebody has to, you know, people in leadership have to care about that. And I guess we as citizens can voice our opinions and say, hey, we'd like to do some things like that. But hopefully those things will come to pass and we won't see the diversity programs continue to be cut, because apparently they're needed. You know, we keep seeing things happen, even if we reflect back to the George Floyd incident and even the young man whose life was taken here in Memphis. You know, apparently we still have issues that we need to address. And so hopefully, you know, people in leadership will get on that. And we're looking, we have a mayoral race coming up, so we want to think about that, you know, as we look at the mayor that we want to choose for the city of Memphis. All right. Well, Miss Valletta, I've enjoyed having you on our show on Couch Convo with Coach Karla. You're always welcome to the couch. How can people get in touch with you if they want to participate in Brinson Music Group, your school, or if they want to take lessons?
Well, they can get in contact with me via Brinson's Downtown Memphis at 341 Madison. They can get in contact with me on Instagram at Val Renee Brin, that's my username, or they can get in contact with me on Facebook as Valletta Brinson, or Brinson Music Group at gmail.com.
Okay. And you want to hit a note for the people before we get out of here?
Oh, no, you didn't. What can I do? What can I do?
What can I do? Come on, just give them a little something.
What can I do?
Yes, that's my music. Look, that's my music teacher. I like it. Okay, thank you so much. I have enjoyed having you on the couch.
It was my pleasure.
All right, thank you so much. And you all keep coming back to the couch. We're here on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. You can view us on SVP TV on Roku, Apple, Fire, and Comcast. Good night.
SVP TV, we're family for all your needs. SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV. SVP TV.
Looking for something new? We thought so. SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same.
SVP TV, we're family.
Hey folks, it's Issa Haddad here. I got some good news and a special invitation for you to come see me here at Sunrise Collierville. Come on down, check out my inventory with new pre-owned and certified vehicles to choose from. I can get you finance when no one else can. Come on by, bring your family. I treat you like family. Come see me, Issa, here at the #105 Houston Levy Road, Sunrise Collierville.